Branding and positioning. Branding is a major decision issue in managing products. Well-known brands have the power to command price premium. Today the brands Mercedes, IBM, Sony, Canon, and others enjoy a huge brand loyal market. Most competition in developed and developing economies is essentially hot at product augmentation level because most companies in an industry can successfully develop and produce satisfactory products at the expected level. This lesson will make us discuss about the various concepts, aspects, and issues related with branding and positioning. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to understand branding as a marketing strategy, when and how, industrial versus consumer products, positioning the company and the brand extensions. Brands live in the minds of consumers and are much more than just a tag for their recognition and identification. They are the basis of consumer relationship and bring consumers and marketeers closer by developing a bond of faith and trust between them. Brand identity is a promise that gets kept consistently and defines organization. It creates a personality and a life for your products or services, and unique and consistent look, feel, tone, and voice for all communications. It also provides employees with a greater sense of commitment. Brand identity has two dimensions: core identity and extended identity. Jean-Noel Caffrey has put forward a hexagonal theory of brand identity which he calls a prism consisting of physique, personality, culture, relationship, reflection, and self-image. Example of Nike is depicting in figure with respect to physique, personality, culture, relationship, reflection, and self-image. Consumer relationship. Brand equity is defined in terms of marketing effects uniquely attributed to the brands. For example, when certain outcomes result from the marketing of a product or service because of its brand name that would not occur if the same product or service did not have the name. Brand loyalty is the biased behavioral response expressed over time by some decision-making unit with respect to one or more alternative brand out of a set of such brands, and is a function of psychological processes. Brand image is the way public perceive the company or its product. Brand image is the sum total of impressions created by the brand in the consumer's mind. It is the key concept intervening between the brand and its equity. The image of a brand can adjust brand value upwards or downwards. When the coconut oil is parachute, its value moves upwards. This shift is the result of brand name. There are several brand options. Manufacturer brands are initiated by manufacturers and identify the producer. This type of brand generally requires the initiator involvement in its distribution, promotion, and pricing decisions. The major feature of private brands is that they are reseller-initiated brands. Manufacturers are not identified on the products. Wholesalers and retailers use private brands to develop more efficient promotions to build store image and generate higher gross margins. Shoppers Stop is a private brand. Licensed brand is a relatively new trend and involves licensing of trademarks. Entering into a licensing agreement, a company allows approved manufacturers to use its trademark for a mutually agreed fee. Procter & Gamble licensed its Camay brand of soap in India to Godrej for a few years. Generic brands indicate only the product category, such as aluminum foil. The choice of a brand name is fundamentally important because it often captures the key concept or association of a product in a compact and economical manner. Companies have 4 strategic options in choosing a brand name. They can choose a company name like Nirma, Escorts, HMT, Philips. Individual names like Procter & Gamble using this approach for its products Ariel, Tide, Head & Shoulders, Pantene, and Vicks. Separate brand family names like Denim brand for HLL has several products namely Denim Deo, Denim Shaving Cream, Aftershave, Denim Soap, and Denim Talc. Combination of company name and product name, also called umbrella or endorsement brand names like Maruti Esteem, Maruti Zen, Fiat Palio, and Ford Icon. Companies differ in their approaches to branding. Product branding strategy is driven by customer orientation. The thinking focuses on customer perception and information processing, and the company believes the most effective method to differentiate its offer in a customer's mind is to give the product an exclusive position and identity. Procter & Gamble is an ardent follower of product branding strategy. The term line branding is altogether different than what product line refers to in the context of product mix. Companies often have several product lines in the product mix. For example, Gillette India has 3 product lines: personal care, oral care, and alkaline batteries. In line branding, products share a common concept. Line brands start with a single product conveying a concept, and later the brand name extends to other complementary products. The core concept remains unchanged. For example, the core concept of denim brand is the man who doesn't have to try too hard. Range branding strategy seems to resemble line branding, but is significantly different. It is also called brand extension. Product categories are different, but brand name is the same, such as carrying the brand name Maggi for a different range of products like noodles, sauce, soup, and the dosa mixes. Umbrella branding is favored among Eastern world companies, but is not exclusively confined only to this part of the world. Giants like General Electric and Philips are examples of non-Eastern companies that use umbrella branding. The approach is driven by economic considerations. The company name itself is the brand name for all products across diverse categories. Investment in building one brand proves far more economical than investing in building several brands. The brand transfers the advantages of brand awareness, its associations, and goodwill. Double branding strategy combines umbrella branding and product branding. Along with the product brand name, the company name is associated to create double branding, such as Tata Indica and Bajaj Pulsar. Both names are equally important and are given equal status in the brand's communication. Double branding serves 2 objectives. The product gains from the company's name, awareness, expertise, and reputation. Endorsement branding strategy is a minor variation of double branding strategy. The product brand name gains a dominant position while the company name merits a lower profile. The company name appears in smaller letters and takes a backseat. The brand largely seeks to exist on its own. The company name is mentioned to identify who owns it just by the way of endorsement to the product brand, such as Godrej Synthol or Nestle KitKat identify the owners of these brands. A company must carefully examine its situation before making a decision about adopting a certain branding approach. The main factors determining it all are market size, competitive situation, company resources, product newness, and innovativeness and technology. If the market size is smaller and the growth is very low, achieving sizable sales would not be easy. When the competition is intense, customer focus gains importance to win their confidence. It becomes necessary to strongly differentiate the brand and be a specialist in some meaningful and persuasive way. Branding in most cases is a highly expensive proposition. It is certainly not meant for resource-starved companies. As companies grow, they tend to add to new products to expand product mix. The marketplace is getting more and more crowded because of brand multiplication, and customers tend to group them into categories to simplify their purchase decision. Really innovative products sometimes emerge from new technology. A breakthrough innovation embodies risks both for customers and the concerned company. Here it becomes important for us to understand the concept of industrial products and consumer products. Industrial products are a little difficult to imagine since most of us do not encounter them directly in daily life. These are items consumed by businesses in their production or manufacturing process, often as parts or components of a consumer product. Examples would include ball bearings, integrated circuits, and switch knobs. Other industrial products are tools used for manufacturing or processing actual products. Some of these tools are similar to the ones you might own but would be much larger or more powerful or capable of greater output. Examples include drill presses, hydraulic jacks, and sewing machines. Sales of consumer products and services are often recorded at cash registers and consolidated by retail chains for analysis. At the very least, individual stores are able to figure their daily receipts. On a national scale, cash register receipts from many retailers are collected by market research firms and reports are generated on a periodic basis. These sales reports are often summarized in the business press. Before deciding on the positioning strategies, the companies must segment the market and target the consumer group or market in which they want to position their product or services. Market segmentation is the process of dividing the market into distinct homogeneous subgroups of consumers with similar needs or characteristics that lead them to respond in similar ways to particular marketing programs. Geographic segmentation focuses on dividing markets into different geographic units such as regions, nations, states, urban, rural, etc. Customers located in different geographic areas vary in terms of climates, terrain, natural resources, population density, culture, service, sales potential, growth rates, competitive structure of the market, and frequency of purchases for a variety of goods and services. For example, Jeeps are more popular in rural areas in India than in urban areas. Demographic characteristics are commonly used to segment the market. Factors such as age, sex, education, income, marital status, household life cycle, family size, social class, etc. are used singly or in a combination to segment a market. Shaving products for women are based on the demographic variable of gender. Toy manufacturers such as Fun School and Mattel Toys segment the market on the basis of age of children. Many segmentation approaches involve both geographic and demographic descriptors. This approach is based on the premise that people who live close to one another are likely to have similar economic status, tastes, preferences, lifestyles, and consumption behavior. For example, some retailers who propose to open new stores are interested in knowing something about the people who live within a defined area whom they aim to attract. When segmentation is based on personality or lifestyle characteristics, it is called psychographic segmentation. Consumers have a certain self-image and this describes their personality. There are people who are ambitious, confident, aggressive, impulsive, conservative, modern, gregarious, loners, extrovert, introvert, etc. Some motorcycle manufacturers segment the market on the basis of personality variables such as macho image, independent, and impulsive. Dividing the market on the basis of such variables as use occasion, benefit sought user status, usage rate, loyalty status, buyer readiness stage, and attitude is termed as behavioristic segmentation. Buyers can be identified according to the use occasion when they develop a need and purchase or use a product. For example, Archie's greeting cards are used on many different occasions. By purchasing and using products, consumers are trying to satisfy specific needs and wants. In a sense, they look for products that provide specific benefits to them. Identifying consumer groups looking for specific benefits from the use of a product or service is known as benefit segmentation and is widely used by marketers. Benefit segmentation can be seen in the toothpaste market. Fresh breath, decay prevention, and whiter teeth are some examples, and the leading brands involved are Colgate Total, Close-Up, and Promise. Demographic and psychographic profiles work best when combined together because combined characteristics reveal very important information about target markets. Demographic-psychographics information is particularly useful in creating consumer profiles, and at times a company may decide to enter a segment that otherwise does not currently appear to be positive under certain conditions, such as when there is a belief among the managers that the segment's attractiveness or the company's business strength is likely to improve in the coming few years, or they believe that such segments would offer opportunity to enter more attractive markets in the coming years. There are three basic targeting strategies: undifferentiated mass marketing, differentiated multiple segment marketing, single segment specialization or niche marketing. Undifferentiated mass marketing involves ignoring any differences among consumers and offer one product or service to the entire market. This strategy of mass marketing focuses on what is common in the needs of consumers rather than what is different. Hamdard offers its Ruh Afza based on this strategy. Under differentiated multiple segment marketing, the marketer decides to enter several market segments and develops separate offers for each. For instance, Maruti is producing different models of cars for various segments. Many companies succeed by producing a specialized product aimed at a very focused market or a niche. This strategy also appeals to firms with limited resources. The company targets a segment and goes for a larger market share instead of a small share in a larger market segment. Recycled paper producers often focus in the market for greeting cards or wedding cards. Oshkosh Truck is the largest producer of airport rescue trucks. Concentrated strategy may involve more than normal risks. If a large competitor decides to enter the same segment, the going may become quite tough for the smaller company. Positioning is the art of putting a business and its products where they need to be at the exact time when they need to be there. A lot of companies have a positioning statement, yet most of their employees could never tell you what it said. The positioning statement should work side by side with your business plan. To achieve success in marketing your products, you and your employees must first make an appeal to the customer with your business and its brand. The companies that have effectively positioned themselves have a competitive advantage in their industry. They are able to create a market position resulting in the clarity and focus necessary to outperform their rivals. Brand positioning is a major decision in marketing. It is believed to be the source from which all other decisions of the marketing mix should flow. The entire combination of marketing mix elements attempts to communicate the brand's position to consumers. Also known as brand stretching, brand extension is a marketing strategy under which a firm marketing a product with a well-developed image uses the same brand name in a different product category, technically known as spin-off. Brand extension is one of the new product development strategies which can reduce financial risk using the parent brand name to enhance consumers' perception due to the core brand equity. A brand's extendability depends on how strong consumers' associations are to the brand's values and goals. Ralph Lauren's Polo brand successfully extended from clothing to home furnishings such as bedding and towels. Both clothing and bedding are made of linen and fulfill a similar consumer function of comfort and hominess. The main advantage of a brand extension is that you take the equity or goodwill from an existing brand and use it in another context. If successful, this can save a lot of money because you do not have to invest a lot in developing a new brand on a global basis. All you have to do is to make people aware that the brand has entered a new product or service or market category. Another advantage is that if you're successful, you increase the respect or stature of your brand overall and may well rejuvenate it. The downside to a brand extension is that you can fail in the new product or service or market because the brand is not compelling in that area. Lose the tight focus of your existing brand and therefore its differentiation and relevance, and damage your existing brand by introducing new conflicting or confusing attributes. Brand extension research has identified 10 principles that characterize a good brand extension. These rules should guide any work in order to increase probability of success. 1. Brands should not be extended unless they are well known, have high awareness, and a good reputation among the new target market. 2. Brand extensions must be a logical fit with consumers' expectations. 3. Brand extensions must have leverage in the new category, a transfer to the new product of a distinctive property associated with the parent brand that gives the brand extension an edge in the new category. 4. Brand extensions that could create confusion or a negative image for the parent should not be undertaken. 5. Brands that consumers use synonymously with a category should not be extended to other categories. 6. Brands should not be stretched to too many diverse categories, risking dilution in the long run. 7. Brand extensions that will not create positive synergy for the parent brand should not be pursued. 8. Brand extensions must make business sense. 9. Every brand extension should open a category for the firm. 10. A critical part of every brand extension research study is developing a brand plan. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in the lesson clearly. Brand image is an insider's concept reflecting brand managers' decisions of what the brand is all about. Right or wrong? Wrong. Market segmentation is the process of dividing the heterogeneous market into relatively homogeneous subgroups of consumers. Right or wrong? Right. Positioning is using the leverage of a well-known brand name in one category to launch a new product in a different category. Right or wrong? Wrong. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Branding is not about getting your target market to choose you over the competition, but it is about getting your prospects to see you as the only one that provides a solution to their problem. To succeed in branding, one must understand the needs and wants of one's customers and prospects. The concept of market segmentation is based on the fact that all consumers are not alike. They differ in their needs, wants, desires, income, education, lifestyles, and so on. Market segmentation is the process of dividing the heterogeneous market into relatively homogeneous subgroups of consumers with somewhat similar characteristics. When a marketeer selects one of more segments and develops a distinct marketing program to accomplish marketing objectives, it is called target marketing. Positioning is the perception that happens in the minds of the target market. It is the aggregate perception the market has of a particular company, product, or service in relation to their perceptions of the competitors in the same category. It will happen whether or not a company's management is proactive, reactive, or passive about the ongoing process of evolving a position. Brand extension is using the leverage of a well-known brand name in one category to launch a new product in a different category.